Hello everyone, good morning.
Good morning, Vikrant.
Good morning,
Good morning, sir.
Let's wait for another couple of minutes and then we will start. Yes, I think we will start. Good morning, everybody, again. So, very firstly, do you guys have any questions on our previous sessions?
Vikrant, I have just one question. So whatever you'll be teaching for this Python, any website or any book you would like to us to refer to?
Yeah, anyhow, we are providing that whatever the notebooks which we are created. So, anyhow, we are going to send it on Telegram channel.
Okay.
So, that notebook itself containing some definitions of whatever it is required and that hands-on coding examples.
Okay. So we don't need to refer to any other website or any book, anything like that. You will provide us material for this Python, for this
Yeah.
data science. Okay.
Yeah.
So when will you get it? I mean, next few days or?
Yeah, like
Today?
whenever so I'm planning to give it like once I done with that those sessions like so I like divided this Python training into like three types of category. One is basic Python coding and built-in
Okay.
Python functions, and third one is an advanced Python coding. So once I done with those sections, so I'm going to send those things on Telegram channel.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So anyhow, at this moment, you guys are getting recordings and you may practice these things in your own, right?
Recordings, I don't think we are getting so far. I mean,
Okay. I'll tell to admin to like share some recording links and all. These sessions are recording, so I will ask them to share it with you all. Okay, then just by accepting these questions, we'll going forward. So let me share my screen again. Please let me know once it is visible. Can you guys can see my screen?
Yes, Vikram.
Yeah. So today I'm going to, like in our previous classes, we discussed about a background of Python and a very small execution using print statement. So how we can print the statement in a different ways by using some Python built-in functions, right? So today I'm going to discuss on Python libraries. I think some people are already aware of what is Python libraries, what is the use of that, how they are going to download it and all these things, right? Very firstly, the Python libraries are collections of related modules, class, methods, and functions that can be used in different programs. It means these are the reusable classes or methods or objects. So if any logics is needed for multiple programming script for multiple purpose, so then we made it as a reusable util. Then we are going to import it, and whenever it is needed, we are going to just apply that just call that function or class to utilize that logic. Okay, this is what the library means in Python. Very firstly, so I'm just going to explain actually one basic library. So that you should to know, like kickstart with actual Python coding. So let's say OS. This is a Python based libraries. As I already explained, so we have a three set of libraries. One is base libraries, third libraries, and local imports. Base libraries means the libraries which is only available with a Python only. So you no need there is no need of external downloadation or external installation for that. Third-party libraries means these libraries requires a external installation. So that libraries are not come up with a Python. So it requires an external installation. You have to install it by using some commands. Then you have to import it. Okay. So local import means if some logic is very dedicated to your project, then you can convert that as a library and you can use it in your own environment. Okay, these are the three set of libraries. So first one is like base libraries. Anyhow, it is that is actually OS. This doesn't requires any external installation. So I'm directly going to import it. How we can call that OS? You can use this import keyword, and this is a module name. So I'm just executing this line of code, that is import OS. So I didn't get any error. So this is simply giving some number. It means the cell is executed properly without any error. Okay. So here I'm going to show what are the supporting methods, supporting functions are available with OS. How we get to know? Do we need to refer any documentation of that? Of course, if you want to refer any of the documentation of these libraries, you can just go to official document of this OS or any of the module, and you can just see what are the methods available, what is the purpose of those methods or those functions. Okay, so here I'm just going to show like shortcut of how to know what are the methods, what are the functions, what are the logics available with any of the libraries. Okay, so once you imported the libraries, you can just call that libraries. After that just press a dot. Okay, then press a tab from your keyboard. So you will get a list of methods, keywords, options available with OS. Whatever the logics is needed, you can just call that and you can use it. Okay. This is not only for OS, this is for all the libraries which you are going to use it in coming days. Okay. So OS, then OS is nothing but an operating system. Operating system in the sense like it's just your local directory. It is just what I can say, referring your local directory and working on changing the directory path. If you wants to know any files are available on that particular path or not, or if you wants to change the directory, so it will be working on these set of things. Okay, uh, if that paths are relative path or not, absolute path or not. So it's only working on this way. Why? Because if you guys wants to read any of the files, if you guys wants to import any files from your local, then you have to check whether that file is available on your local path or not, that given path or not. Then you can check it by using this OS. Okay, so here I'm just showing, it's just in a, we are just doing some kickstart on that Python development. So that's why I'm just going to show few examples to how to use it. Okay, very firstly, if I want to check where I am working and which directory I'm working from my local system. So as I know, so if you go to this link, okay, here only I can see that, oh, this is a document folder. Inside of the document, in document folder, I have this ML folder. Inside of this ML folder, I have this basic Python coding.ipynb notebook. By this way, we can get it by this link, right? So how I can generate the same path, same answer using program. Okay, so that is basically getting a current working directory, right? So how I can call that? So let's see, do we have any supporting method to print those path? So I'm just type get get yeah. So we have get CWD. It means get C current working directory. Okay. So I'll just call this one. So anyhow, this is a function. So how to know how we can know that this is a function or variable or instance? Okay. Just you can press get space like tab. Then you got to know get CW is the things which I need, and other than that, in the right side, you can see this is a function. So function in the sense we have to end up within a parenthesis. Okay. Next. So you can go inside of this function and just press in a shift tab. Just press in a shift tab. Then you can read the doc string. It will tells us what is the use of that, what is the purpose of that get CWD. Okay, so you can see return a unique code string representing the current working directory. This is what we required, right? And inside of that, it is not requiring any of the parameter. It means you can you don't need to pass any of the parameter inside of this function. Okay, so let's execute this line of code. See, C is my drive and user ID, documents and ML folder. So in this directory, my notebook is located, right? And if you really wants to change that working directory, so you can just press the CH. Yeah, we have CHDIR. Again, it is a function, change working directory. So you can just go inside of this function. Again, you can press shift tab over there. Then you get a got doc string, that is change the current working directory to the specified path. Where I need to specify the path, here they have provided the argument. So it means this is a path. So we should provide a path. Okay, I'm going to provide a path till documents. I want to bring this out from ML folder. So I'll just change it. See, it is changed. Now I can do the, now I can, again, I'm going to check my current working directory after this changes. See, my current working directory is got changed. It is changed to documents only. In this way, you guys can working with the work within a libraries. Okay. Any questions so far?
So we have to press shift tab every time to get the
Yeah.
options or to understand anything, correct?
Yes, correct. So first you should to move your cursor into inside of this function, inside of this parenthesis. So that cursor is blinking here, right? So then you can press Shift tab, Shift plus tab. And if you want to know the supporting modules or supporting methods from your base, from your library, you just need to press dot and tab. That's it. Got it?
Okay, so shift of tab and dot tab. That's it. These are two things you use. Okay.
Yeah.
Vikrant, dot tab is not working for me. After OS, I'm trying to press dot tab. After dot, I'm trying to press tab. It is not working for me.
Just
Mm.
type some keyword actually, get or
Okay.
GE, then okay. Sometimes
Okay.
sometimes it will take loading and all these things because of the system configuration, but definitely it will work. You can just press GE and then press tab, then also you will
Okay.
get. So it means the methods which is started with then a G and E.
Okay. Got it. Will
Yeah.
try.
Yeah. So this is how you can deal with the Python libraries. So if in the coming session, we are going to deal with like some different libraries such as Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, Cbar in these sessions. Okay. So in that case, these shortcuts, these things will definitely works. Why double slash? Is it for escape characters? Yeah. So in Python, definitely in Python, so that forward slash will not works. It is not going to considering that. So that's why whenever we are going to give the path in the Python, we are going to give a like backslash, double backslash. Yep. Yep. So then yes, it's time to learn some logics in Python, that is mathematical operators. So in our yesterday's class, I already shown what are the mathematical operators which is available with this Python, right? So today we are going to like going with all of these parameters and how to execute this line of code. So very firstly, so you can add how we can sum the two values. You can directly pass the plus operator and then do the sum of any of two values, right? So the same thing, yesterday we already seen these kinds of examples. Like, so here I'm declaring a variable. As I told, this is a variable and this is a value for that variable. A is equals to 25, B is equals to 30. See, so if you really wants to see what are the values of A, so I'm just going to execute A. See, this is 25. A value is 25, B value is 30. Right? So if you want to subtract these two values, then you can go results and it is equals to A minus B. It means here I'm going to pass a subtractive operator, then I'm going to execute that. So results is equals to -5. Why -5? Because we are doing 25 minus 30, and as we are already aware of that, so that a bigger number having minus sign, so that's why at the end of that result we are getting that minus sign, right? So how we can convert this minus sign into positive? As we are already know that, so I need a subtraction of 30 and 25, but while doing in a subtraction we just swap those numbers, right? So that's because of that we are getting this negative sign. How to remove this negative sign from this values from the subtraction? Yes, exactly. ABS is nothing but absolute values, right? Absolute values in the sense that our numbers is always available within a positive side. So how we can do it in Python? So in Python, we have a function that is ABS, right? That is again a Python built-in function. You guys can please have a note on like what are the Python built-in functions I'm using here. Okay, so you can call this ABS. So inside of that, you can pass your result. So again, you can just go inside of this cursor and you can just press a shift to tab. What it means, returns the absolute value of the argument. So you have to provide an argument. Okay, then what is my argument? That is result. So I'm press and executing this line of code. See that negative value is getting converted into positive values. That is absolute values. This is how you need to deal with Python. Python is very strict on that command and the logic, but however you want, you should to call and you should to use it. But then again, if you want to accept a input from the user, that you can also do that. Yesterday also I given the same kinds of example, that is A is 10, B is 20. So then, and we have another function, that is type function, to check your input data types. Okay, so here I'm going to check it. Type of A is, that is int, good. Then type of B is int, that is good. So the inputs are accepted as an integer type. Okay, so if you really wants to know the data type of any of the variable, you guys can use this type built-in functions. Again, if you go here, you can check. So what it tells as a statement, it will tells the type of that objects, whatever you are going to give. So type, you need to provide the arguments here. So on which variables type, if you want to know, that you can provide it inside of this parenthesis, then you will get the what's the type of that inputs. Okay, so you can see I'll just pass some string inside into this. Yeah, so I'm inside of this, I'm just passing some strings. So I'm just executing this. So see, as we already know that this is actually a string, how we can print this in programmatically. So this is the way to print it. See, this print it as the type is string type. Okay, by using these kinds of Python built-in functions, you may check the errors whenever you find the errors, and you can work along with that positive way. Okay, then so results could be, again it is going to give a -10. If you really wants to print positive values only, you can just use this ABS function. Okay, then my question would be, is it possible to make this as a positive value while doing a subtraction itself without using an ABS function? ABS is a Python built-in functions, but you guys should to know how we can create your own function without using any Python built-ins. Is it possible to do? Yes, it is possible. Everything can be possible because ABS, that Python built-in function, is also using some logic inside of that, right? So whatever the logic it could be, so we should be in the place that we can write our own logic to accomplish the same work. This is what I'm expecting from my students. Okay, so I'm also going to show some of the functions, how they are going to create it, all these things. Okay, so here, very firstly, yeah, very firstly, so this is all things are Python like mathematical operations, right? So here I can see we are doing the operations between the two values. But if we have any multiple values, let's say we have 1, 5, 10, 15, so like that. So I'll just take this as an examples. Okay, so okay, I can say a example. Then, so as I told, is a list. So I have 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. See, so I have these values. What is the total sum of these values? 25 plus 20, 45, 45, 50, 60, 60 plus 10, 70, 75, 75 plus 1, 76. 70 is the expected result. Expected result is equals to, is that right? 76. Expected result is 76. How I can achieve this by Python? So again, we have a Python built-in function that is sum. So you can just go inside of this function, you can just type. So it returns the sum of a start value plus an iterable of the numbers. So sum of the start values, it is going to start with a sum of the start values and then plus with an iterable values, that is this 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, all these things. Okay, so now I'm going to provide this list inside of this exp, just executing this line of code. See, this is what we got, that is 76 as a expected results, right? How we can achieve this without using this sum function? Can anyone dictate like how we can achieve this one? You can just tell me the way, I'll do it in programmatical way.
So it's a for loop you can apply, no?
For loop.
It's
Okay.
an array, no? EXP is an array, so you can put a for loop or something.
Yeah. So the approach should be, so again, first way, so first I have to add with 1 plus 5, then 6, then 6 plus 10 is 16, then 16 plus 15, the results, and results will be added to 20, 20, and results will be added to 25. So in this way, we have to add we should add the values, correct? How we can add it? So I'll come to this loops explanation later on, about how this loops works and all. But just I'm going to show an example that how we can create our own logic, whatever that built-in functions had. So I'm going to create a for loop for I in. If you are not aware of for loop, all these things, don't worry. I'm going to give us some other good examples in the coming sessions. For I in, this is the exp results, right? Exp. So I'm just going to print the values, what I'm getting. This 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, all these things. But now I should add this 1 with 5, 5 with 10, all these things. But the very first value should add with some of the other values, right? Then what is that some other values? So one like on which like by adding which values to this first value is not making any difference in the first results. Can anyone tell that?
Yeah, we need to take the one variable and set the 0 value for that variable.
If I set the 0 values, what is the results in the first iteration?
0 plus 1, it will take one
Will
value,
be
same value.
same value, right? It doesn't
Yes.
make any difference. It is not going to affect our actual values. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. That I'm going to set as an initial value is equals to 0. Then now I'm going to add this whatever the values is coming with initial values. So let's try that. So I'm going to print that initial value plus I, that whatever the coming values was. See what happened? Just you can debug. So 1 is coming inside of this loop and add up within a 0. 1 plus 0 is 1. Then what is happening again? Then it is then the second value is coming, that is 5. 5 plus 0, then initial value is 0. 5 plus 0 is becoming a 5 only. This is what happening. What I want to do now, but this is what we are not expected. So once 1 with 0 is added, then it should be added with an 1 plus 5. Then 6 plus 10. In this way it should go. But it is not going in that direction. What is the things which we should incorporate again?
We need to set that value one after adding the first one plus first value. We need to set that value into the another variable. So every time that is appending some
Yes.
that value.
Yeah. So once we are done with that initial variables is added, then the next value we have to override that with that actual previous results. Correct? So we should add, we should keep on adding that actual values with our previous results. So in that case, I'm going to overwrite this with is equals to plus I. So let's see now. Yeah, now you can see 1 is coming, 1 plus 0 is 1. Then in the second iteration, 1 plus 5 is 6. Then 6 plus 15, 6 plus 10 is a 16. Then 16 plus 15 is 31. 31 plus 20 is 51. And this goes on. So final result is 76. This is what we got by using the sum functions, correct? So in this way, we should write our own logic. And if you don't want to if you don't want to print this iteration, if you really wants to print that final results, then you can just remove the print statement. And you can save this in a keyword like results. That's it. Then I just saved that end results within a results keyword. I'm just printing it. See, this is how we can get it. Just keeping cumulative. Yes. Yes. So
Yes.
any questions so far? Any confusion? So if you are not understand this for loop, how it works, definitely I'll come up with an good examples when we are discussing a loops in Python. So it's just an example like how we can incorporate to the same Python built-in function by using our raw knowledge. So here we are just using our Python basics like Python basic operators and the knowledge of basics Python. Nice. So any other questions so far?
One question, Vikrant. Regarding this integer type and of string type, we have two different types, right? So internally, how will allocate the memory for the two different? Is there any differences there, or allocating the memory? Like in object-oriented programming, we have the two different memories, right? Stack memory and heap memory. So same like that, we have in Python also. We are using allocating the memory like that, or any differences there?
No,
Compared to other object-oriented programming.
no. So in Java also, actually, basically, this is the things which we are doing in Java, right? So in Java, oops concepts. So, but in Python, it is different. So you are not going to do anything with that memory. So everything, that's what very beginning I told that it is in-memory computation.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the, it means you are nothing to do with that, its memory.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why it is less error prone. It means there is a chances when you are going to allocating a memory for your objects, something when in that case, something it is going very wrong. So Python is have the capable to understand all of these things. So you no need to worry on that. You can just simply give your comments, give your logic. It is going to do what is a expected thing. Cool. Then, so I hope you people are understood by like utilization of imports and utilization of Python mathematical operators with own coding. Then it's time to learn that some comparator operators. What are the comparator operators basically? What is a comparison? What is the meaning of comparison? In anyone? Comparison means it's just like we are going to compare one things with another things, right? Yeah, this guy is taller than me. This guy is smaller than me. What we are doing there? We are just comparing us with another person. So by comparing that, we got to know one conclusion, like what is the difference in between you and him. Correct? This is what the comparison. In the same way, how we can do the comparison in Python as well with our inputs. With that comparison, how we can go forward with that our operations. Right? So in that case, let me give a good example. In our India, what is the age limit for voting? 18 plus. 18 plus, correct. So then I want to apply a logic that if the candidate age is greater than 18 plus, then I can move ahead with an actual process for providing a voter ID. If it is that age of that person is less than 18, then I'm just denying that application, right? How I'm going to identify whether that guy is eligible to apply a voter ID or not? By doing comparison only, right? If that guy is if that candidate age is greater than 18 or not. So in that case, this comparator operators is very useful. How it is? What are the comparison operators as there in Python? What is the possible comparator operators?
Less than, minus, greater than.
Okay, first one is greater than, less than,
And minus.
Equal
Greater
to.
than, equal to, less than, equal to.
Equal to also.
yes. Very firstly, greater than, equal to, less than, equals to, not equals to. Correct? These are the six possibilities of in the comparison. Correct? So you can see it over here. These are the operators which we have it on Python by in the Python. Yeah. So this less than, this is the operation less than, greater than, equals to, greater than or equals to, less than or equals to, then not equals to, right? Then, so, but there is a difference between the one single equals and these two equals. Okay, what happened between these single equals? It means it is just use it as an assigning operators. This is not a comparison operator. Keep in mind that if you want to compare with the equality, then you should use double equals. It means that will provide a Boolean results. It means this is a comparator operator. This is the assigning operator, which it is going to assign the values to a particular variable name. Okay, be clear on that. Now, A is equals to 15, B is equals to 15. Then what is the meaning? What is the comparison here? A is always equals to B, right? Because both the values are same, that is 15 and 15. So let's check whether it is right or wrong. So see, the results is given within a Boolean. Boolean in the sense the values which is having only two kinds of set, that is true or false. Then we can call this as a Boolean type. Okay, so it is not a string, it is not an integer, it's just in a bool that is having a two categories of values, that is true and false. So the results of this comparator operators this comparator operator returns the results always a Boolean type, that is true or false. By considering this true or false condition, we can do our operations, right? And yeah, these are the things. So by using this comparison, see, you can see like if this condition is false, if this comparison is not good, so you can, I'm just going to do A is greater than B. This condition, we know that this is false. This is always false because we know that what is the A, what is the value of A, what is the value of B. Then if I do A is greater than B, then what happened? This will give us a false statement. It means the comparison is false. A is not at all greater than to B. Then is it less? Is it less? Then it is going, no, not a less also. Then I'm going to say less than or equals to. What is the expected results from this line of code? False or true? True or false?
True.
Come on.
True.
Okay, let's see. As true. It means it is a less than or equals, not and. Okay. So then what happened? It is going to check. First, it is going to check whether these values are less than or not. Then it is going to check these values are equals or not. Then that second condition gets satisfied. That's why it is printing it as a true. Okay. So this is how we are going to deal with the comparison operators. Okay. So by using this comparative operators, how we can do the conditional statements? How we can do that conditional statement? As I told, right? So with this condition, like what is the condition? If the candidate age is greater than 18, then only we should go ahead with a further process of apply, like a further process of issuing an voter ID. This is my condition. How I apply a condition? Based on that comparison, right? This comparator operators and conditional operator are both are interconnected. By using this comparator operator, we can do that conditional loops, right? How we can do that? That is conditional statement. So fundamental programming constructors that allow you to control the flow of your program based on the conditions that you specify. Like how many of you are able to understand the statement? Fundamental programming constructs that allows you to control the flow of your program based on the conditions that you are going to specify. Anyone? Or none of them are going to understand this statement? Yes, it means actually, so by, yeah, go ahead. We provide some condition, then at least you guys can try it. So whether it is right or wrong.
If you
Regarding
put conditions that should satisfy, right, based on conditions.
So I'm
Based on-
saying, yeah. So I
Only if
think
that
you guys-
condition is satisfied, then it will allow you to go to the further steps.
some
Okay.
logic we need to implement based on the condition, we need to implement some business logic.
Okay. So we are talking about very technically. So here I mentioned one point that allow you to control the flow of your program. What does it mean? So in any of the scripts, whatever you are going to do in a coding, right? Once you are executed that complete script, then what happened? All the lines are going to execute it without your control, right? So while doing an execution, you don't have any control on your script. So in each and every lines are running sequential order, correct? Then if you want to control some flow on your script, while doing an execution, if you want to control with your whatever the condition, then you can specify this conditional statement while doing an execution. This is what it means. By using these conditional statements, you guys can control the execution of your script. That, so whatever the conditions you are going to specify, let's say, yes, I'm going to issuing any voter ID for that peoples. So if I'm not specified any condition for all the candidates, if we are going to issue the voter IDs without knowing the age of the person, without considering the age of that person. So in that case, I want to control the flow of program, that if that candidate age is less than that of 18, I should not execute rest of the logic. I should not. If it is greater than 18, yes, I should execute all the test. I should execute all the logic, and I can give the voter ID to that person. So in this way, I can control the flow of our program. So this is what it means. This statement means. Okay. So guys, understand of this concept, because in your interview definitely you will got these kinds of questions. So interviewer will definitely ask you what is the exact meaning of that particular sentence. So in that case, be clear on that, and you should give your explanation with some examples. Then only your interviewers get impressed on you, right? Like your example, we need 18 plus candidate, that is a condition. Yeah, we will go with that condition only. We will build some logic on that. So very firstly, you can see A is 35, B is 45, and yeah, and we have only two examples, right? Very beginning I told it, right? While doing in a subtraction, so I don't want to print the negative symbol, negative sign for with the results. What I have to do? We can use ABS function. Without using any ABS function, how we are going to achieve the same results? Without going, right? Then, so what is the logic? So I'm just going to execute this 35 and 45. So result is equals to A minus B. What is the result? That is minus 10, right? Why I'm getting in a minus symbol? How I should avoid to get a minus symbol over here?
Use absolute.
Absolute use of absolute is restricted now. I told it you should not use ABS.
Show integer value only.
Or else you can use if condition. If the result is in negative, then negative of that negative result.
It's simple, right? I can swap this value.
We can compare the values of A and B and then subtract.
See, I can swap this value, right, to get a positive result.
Yeah, that is direct way. But if you want to put mandatory A, if you have A minus B, then okay.
Yeah. So if I want to make this logic as dynamic, let's say here I'm expecting results from the user A and B. Sometimes A value is high, sometimes B value is high. So our logic should have the capability to understand whenever A is going to high, then logic should be A minus B. Whenever B is going high, B value is high, then it should go B minus A, right? This might be changed, like this swapping should be internal swapping logic. So how we can go to write this logic? So we can use this comparator operators and create a logic for that. How? So A is 10, B is 20. What I'm doing? 10, 20. See, right here I'm going to write a logic for that. Okay, if so, conditional statements are if and else. Okay, whether you can provide if only or you can provide if and else, both conditions. Okay, so I'm just going to write if A, what is that? A is greater than B. So if this A is greater than B means if it is going to return it as a true, then what I should do? Result is equals to, if A is greater than B, then A minus B. This is the logic, right? To get a positive result. Then else. So in the else will not requires any conditional or any comparison. It means else means it is going to take all the rest of the scenarios and going inside of that loop. So result is equals to B minus E. So I'm executed this line of code. Now I'm going to print the result. It is 10, right? Now again I'm going to switch back here, and here I'm providing in a 20 as A and 10 as B. So again I'll execute this logic. We'll see the result. See, in all the cases it's just giving any positive results. It means, so you can just trace back your results. A is 20. So 20 is greater than B, correct? Is that right or wrong? Then what happened? It is going inside of this loop, A minus B, like A is 20 minus 10. That is always 10 only without a negative sign. Then it is not going inside of this logic. Why? Because it is already satisfied this first condition. What happened with our first example? That is 10 and 20. What's happened with our first condition? So it is going to compare this A and B. A is greater than B? No, this condition is false. Then it is not going inside of this loop, and it is not taking a considering this logic. Then what happened? It is going with an else condition. Else means if it is if it is less than or equals to or not equals to, these are the rest of the conditions, rest of the scenarios. So it is, then it is understood by the Python is that, yeah, if it is not this condition, there might be another condition. So in that case, I return this kind of logic. That is B minus A, right? Then we have another condition, that is A is 10, B is also 10. Then what happened in this condition? What is the expected result? What is the expected result? Ten minus 10?
0.
0. So on which condition we are getting 0?
The
If
else condition.
if both the values are equals, we are always getting a 0, right? That is a known thing. So in that case, why should I apply a subtraction logic? So if both the values are same, why should I apply subtraction logic? This is always be 0 if both values are equals. Then how I should apply that condition over here? Again, after that if, so we have another conditional statement, that is L if. In that case, you can provide your logic L if A is equals to B, then result would be 0, right? See, then what happened? It is going inside into this condition. Do we need to check whether it is going inside of this condition or not? So inside of this function, I'm just going to print the statement as A is equal to B. See. So now it is going inside of this loop. So that's why it is printing this statement. Here it is going to check whether A is greater than B. No, this condition is not satisfied. Then it is going to check the equality condition. Yes, it is equal. So that's why it is going to print this results as 0. Then once it is satisfied, it is coming out from this loop and it is giving a results for you. Okay, this is how it works. This is how you can do the elif. So this is how you guys can deal with that conditional statements. Okay, any questions so far? Yeah. So today I'm going to give one exercise for you all is as I given an example for that voter ID one, right? So you should write a logic in such a way that that should print a your logic should print a statement if I provided a candidate age something, okay, as an input if I provided any candidate age. So in that case, it should automatically check their age and it should print what is happening with that age. If it is greater than 18, if it is less than 18 or equals to 18. So by considering all these scenarios, you guys need to write a logic that should print whether that candidate is eligible to apply a voter ID or not. Okay.
Okay.
Here, you guys wants to write it here. Write a logic for to check whether candidate is not and 18 is the age limit. Will that be okay for you all? Yes, nice. Then so today I'll take a pause now. So if you guys have any question, feel free to ask. So we have this doubt clearing session as well in the beginning of every classes and end of every classes as well. Okay. And have a great day, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.